Let's have a conversation here, or let's take a look at together, or walk along the same little paths together about perhaps the most important conversation or possibility we can look at, which is the possibility for a new consciousness to be born and you to be the source of it. In other words, you source the new consciousness. The requirements for that are rather simple and real short. The only thing you need to be is who you are now, a complete failure as a human being on planet Earth. You're part of why we have World War I, World War II, soon perhaps to have World War III and end it all maybe. It is each of us who are responsible for our entire past, our history that is, and our present, and will be, if it gets here, responsible for our future. And the only manner in which we can become 100% responsible is to receive or take responsibility for every death that has occurred unnaturally, maybe that's all of them, on planet Earth. They are our responsibility. The new consciousness of which I speak has only one tiny little minuscule difference between it and the present consciousness that has been our leader, our director, what we have been all a part of for thousands and thousands, who knows how many thousands of years. The Bible talks about it. Who knows how long ago we left the Garden of Eden and went into the fruit of knowledge, or accepted the fruit of knowledge. At any rate, whatever period of time back that was. So the distinction then that I'm drawing here between that old consciousness, I'll refer to it, if you will, as old consciousness from here until the end of this live self-transformation number 10 conversation that we're all having together, millions of us here all in the same room. It's a big room. So the distinction is something that's missing. It's something that was erased. It's something that's taken away, removed, if you will, if you get the point. And that something is violence. Now, I started off by saying the only tiny little difference between the new consciousness and the old consciousness is the new consciousness has a void where the old consciousness once was. Void, or by void, I mean nothing there. There's nothing there. And if you have looked at life from both sides now, the wind and, oh, never mind. You might notice that the space of nothing is the space of creation, the space of intelligence, the space of truth. So this new consciousness of which I speak is the creation, of intelligence and truth as our way of being, as the space from which we live. So we can live from the space of nothing. Nothing. No guidance from our words. No kill all the people who are killers so that we're only left with people who are not killers. Obviously, if we're going to kill all the killers, who are we left with? It's pretty simple, isn't it? So I'm asking here for each of you to consider the possibility of discovering for yourself the manner in which to become the source for your own personal self-transformation, which is the death of your old consciousness, aka ego, both individual ego and collective ego. And that little space that's there after your ego dies and before you die, there's a tiny little space there That's the space of creation, intelligence, and truth. Now, there's a few minor, easy to overcome. Can you tell a liar when you hear one? Things that are needed. And the most important one is this word or phrase or point called 100%. So in order to manifest, discover, bring forth, be the source of a new consciousness, the old consciousness has to die. And that's where this tiny little no problem activity called 100% comes in. Because you must die 100% to the old consciousness. The old consciousness is where you're right no matter what you do. You have reasonableness, justification, explanation. You have every excuse in the world why you've never made a mistake. And why every war is their fault. It's our government, it's Bush, it's grabbing by the whatever that thing is, Trump, or our new guy who has trouble getting up steps. He made it though. Those steps fought him all the way, but God darn it, he made it to the top of the steps. Well done, Joe. Well done. So I guess what I'm speaking here, I'm not guessing, is the possibility for you to born yourself, give yourself birth. Obviously, in order to give yourself birth, you first have to die. I use that word die because in a real way, to die to your ego is death. It's the same exact, there's a lie in there, happening as total and complete death. With one tiny little distinction. After you stop breathing and your heart stops for a moment there, it starts back. And there's a new human there. And what you will have left behind is your anger, your jealousy, your fear, your greed, your need to control, all of your feelings that you invented for yourself to live from. And then, of course, you blame everybody else for all of that. You go from girlfriend to girlfriend to girlfriend to girlfriend to girlfriend to girlfriend, on and on, or wife to wife to wife. And blame them on it. Or from husband to husband or boyfriend to boyfriend, whatever the gender is. Or if you happen to be male gender, you go from, is male gender oriented, then you go from male to male to male to male. Always blaming the other person for the failure of the relationship. If you'll just do one thing, if you'll look back at your life and look at all the people you've come into contact with, then find the constant. By constant, I mean who or what is the one thing that was constant in every one of your relationships. If you find out who is the constant in all of your relationships, you'll find out who the moron is, who the nutcase is, who the idiot that's filled with violence and doesn't even know it is. Because you think you're kumbaya, you think you're maybe a Christian or a Muslim or a Catholic or one of those people, and they're wonderful, wonderful people. They only kill people if they have to. So, is it possible for you to look yourself right in the eye and mention these words, that you are a total failure as a human being on planet Earth? If you need proof, then look at how our world's gone from war to war to war to war constantly, and realize that you caused all of them. You. Then you need to take 100% responsibility for your own violence. And that will end the violence on planet Earth. Because we're all one. There's really only one creation, intelligence, truth. They're all one. We are all one, like one entity divided into 7.82973 and a half. There's some being made right now. Parts. So I wonder. I guess I'm far enough into this that I've lost a lot of people. 10 minutes, that's not too long, is it? Maybe there's a couple people still left. So here's my query. Here's my question. Here's what I have to ask. Is it possible for you to create for yourself the ability to be 100%? Not the best you can be, not all, most you can do, not any of that nonsense, but 100% of what you can be. And if you live in the old consciousness, the present consciousness that traverses backwards for thousands of years, then you are 100% wrong. You have all of it is your mistake. 100%. Your mistake. Your responsibility. Nobody else's. If you can discover that tiny little space where your ego isn't, you'll find the space where you'll realize you causing all of the strife that is not only in your life but in the lives of everybody on planet Earth. So if you care to remove the violence from within yourself and from our collective self, the 7.285.3 and a half people, then accept 100% your responsibility for being you. A total and complete 100% failure is who you are now. Unless you're already dead. Now, if you're already dead, then you're not a failure. You're a dead failure. And you can't hear what I'm saying anyway. So if you're alive, and you're kicking, and you're moving around, the keister's moving, I like that old Kentucky Fried Chicken thing about their chicken sandwich. A little kick in the keister. I wonder what a keister is, but I think it's the butt. Kick in the butt. Then perhaps for yourself, by yourself, and on your own, accept the 100% possibility that you are wrong in every instance of your present, past, and you will be wrong in every instant of your future until you realize that you are the violence of planet Earth. You, not them. There isn't any them. There's only you. All right. I started to say at 10 minutes I was signing off, and here we are at damn 13 minutes. I went 3 minutes past my bedtime. Well, not really. I'll be up for a couple more hours. So perhaps even if you consider taking a huge quantum leap, even put a little note in the comments section. I will take 100% responsibility for myself now. You need the word now there because will implies in the future, and you may never ever get to that point. Or you could even say, I now take 100% responsibility for my life. That will give you the 100% responsibility for this entire planet, all of them. No exceptions. Up for it? We shall see, said the blind man. A perfect experience of creating a new consciousness for each one of you is sent.